live, boys.
Boys and girls, we're live. Holy moly, Kai's here. It's a wild Kai sighting.
All right, Kai. Kai fact of the day before you leave, because I know you're going to lurk. Tottenham stunned Man City today in the UCL quarterfinals, 1-0 to win the first leg. That's all I got.
Woo! Let's go. Let's go. What did you say again? What name?
Tottenham. The Tottenham Spurs.
Let's go Tottenhams. I love them. I've been a huge fan of them for years. Let's go.
They're the Spurs. It's the same name as your favorite basketball.
Congratulations to the Tottenham Spurs. Where are they from?
Tottenham.
Oh, that's the name of the town. Oh, okay, great. Awesome. Well, we just lost all our Tottenham resident viewers.
Harry Kane's injured too.
Oh, no.
You know what they say about Harry Kane?
Is that Undertaker's brother? Is that Undertaker's brother? I did not know he played soccer. Holy moly, boys.
Oh, God.
But how are you doing, Kai? How are you doing, Outlaw? Appreciate y'all being here.
We all had fantastic.
It was crazy. They won. Hopefully y'all had a fantastic Tuesday, like you just said. I did. It was quick. Can I give a quick shout out, lads?
Shout out alert.
Today was my beautiful and stunning, amazing, awesome, the best ever wife's birthday. So happy birthday, baby. I love you.
Happy birthday.
Yep. So Silent but Deadly's here. What's up, boys and girls? How are y'all?
Came in hot with some news too that we're gonna hit on.
Yeah, news hype. News hype. News hype.
Yeah, are we gonna go in order?
Let's do it. Let's go in order, because you know we're gonna the top one. We're gonna be talk about that one the most. So might as well go with that one first and foremost. All right.
All right. Get right to it. UFC 236, and what a card that's gonna be.
What a card! Only in my opinion, because of the two main events. Other than that, it doesn't excite. There's some decent names on it, decent fight. Yeah. But it's the two. It's an amazing card. It's a must-watch pay-per-view solely because of those two main events, the co and the main. Yeah. So it's gonna be a big one, boys.
And you know what? Let's pull up a preview of the card itself. So we're not going to go through each fight because there's a decent amount of fights there.
But yeah, we're just touching main card.
Yeah, the big five. The big five, starting with Ovince St. Preux and Nikita Krylov.
Nikita, when I think of that old show, Nikita, whatever. It's old. I'm old. So, yeah. Got to drive, guys. Have fun. You'll be back later. All right, Kai. Well, we got your 4Kai out of the way. So that was for you, buddy.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm a big Ovince St. Preux fan. So I've always have been, because he's a very unique, he's an exciting fighter. I'd put him under the exciting banner. He's another one of those guys that's really good, but just not great. But, you know, that has a little bit of interest. I have a little. What's your interest factor on that fight?
I like Ovince St. Preux as well. The Von Flue, I think is how you say it.
He's done that twice, right?
Yeah, twice.
He's the first one to ever get in the fight with it, right? In the UFC history, I believe, right?
Well, what did the guy who did it the first time, was he ever in the UFC or was that pre-UFC?
I'm not 100% positive on that. I just know how big Joe Rogan geeked out whenever he used that. And I believe the stat was that he was the first one to ever use it to finish a fight. Or maybe he was the first one to ever fully use it in a fight. I don't know. But I know it was one of those things.
He's fun to watch. I'm surprised he's under the card I'm surprised that fight is under the next fight, which is Alan Jobon against Dwight Grant.
I think, speaking on that, I think they do that to give a little bit of excitement to start off, so you're not kind of in a lull of not knowing who these people are. until you get to those main events. Because I think Ovince St. Preux, I don't know much about the other guy, but I think Ovince St. Preux put on a good fight. I think that's a good way to start a pay-per-view off, honestly.
Yeah.
So, all I really know about Joe Ban really is he's a model. I mean, he's
that's
he
it.
and I'm surprised he fights still, because I feel like you're hurting your chances of maintaining that model status. So
I'm interested to see how this Dwight Grant guy fares against him. I mean, Allen's no joke. Like, he's not a bad fighter.
Yeah.
But he's not like a super high level. So it'll be a nice little measuring stick.
Yeah, it'll be one thing that I found interesting. If you Google the UFC 236 card, Google's actually, because you know how Google now gives you their own responses instead of like a web page.
Yeah.
Their thing has it has Grant's name as Benny Siegel.
Wait. Really?
Yes. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I meant to look into that a little bit more of why. Maybe that's his nickname, or was that somebody edited that and was being a ding dong about it? Because Benny Siegel was like a semi-popular rapper in the late 90s.
Yeah, Benny.
Yeah.
He's 9-2, so it's not like he's his nickname is Benny Mac.
Okay.
Nope, that is no. Yeah, it comes up as the rapper to the side, but then it has him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man, but he's 9-2, so
yeah,
maybe I can't even pull him up. It just comes up with the rapper.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. I saw that, I'm like, what? And then because I'm like, that doesn't ring a bell. Like, when I was looking at the verdict, page, and then the UFC page, I'm like, what? I was like, was there a change? And no. So, Silent says, I feel like it's one of those cards where you don't think twice about the other fights, but they deliver. Yeah, that you're right on point. I think it's one. The two title fights are so good that it's worth potentially having some fights that aren't great, so you're not going to really think about it, and then they'll probably end up surprising you. That's what I would say. I think you're dead on, Silent. Dead on.
I think this next fight, Eric Anders against Khalil Roundtree, is going to be one of those really exciting fights.
Potential. I know that's a lot of the hype right now, but man, I feel like when you get those kind of hyped fights like that of two guys that aren't 100% known, but yet they put on exciting fights, I feel like they disappoint usually.
Anders is a beast, though. Didn't Anders almost go the distance with Thiago Santos?
I'd have to say I'd have to look. I would have to actually look that up. I don't have that good of a memory of mid card.
He fought in a I think it was a main event. It was him against. Let me check. Yeah, him against Thiago Santos. It was the main event last year.
Okay, I think I vaguely remember that, to be honest.
And he lost. He literally lost at for a ref stoppage at the very, very end of the fight, because he literally he had no juice at all. Like, he couldn't even get up or move. They had to drag him. He left all his energy out there.
I think I remember this now. Yeah, I gotta have some kind of little refreshers to remember, like mid card, unless it's some crazy fight. I have a hard time remembering them all the time. You know what I'm saying, brother?
Roundtree actually got to see fight. I think it was in Vegas.
Yeah.
When he fought, it was UFC 219 against Michael Olic. I don't know how to say his last name, but it was overturned because he tested positive for steroids. Not
is that is that what you would call foreshadowing? Are we foreshadowing future topic here?
We just might be.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Just.
And then moving into the big ones, and when I say big, these are big title fights on the same card, which is I love seeing. I wish the UFC would do more of that. I get they have to spread out. They have a certain amount of events they have to put on a year. They have to spread them out. But I love seeing the shows that have double title fights that are high caliber title fights, not a high level fighter versus a scrub, because they had to have somebody fight him. You know what I'm saying? And these don't disappoint, in my opinion.
I completely agree, and it's that this middleweight interim belt or interim title fight, man, two of when you're looking at like physicality or
Yeah.
physically, whatever, opposite sides of the spectrum. Kelvin Gastelum's like a short
Yeah.
box,
Yeah.
and Israel's so lengthy.
And Israel's the hot up and coming. Pretty much everyone's handed him the golden ticket to the UFC stardom. Which I guess he's already a star, but stardom slash long champion, long time champion.
Mm-hmm.
I obviously will find out in a minute. I'm not sold on that, but it's going to be an exciting fight. Styles Bender, he just beat Silva. Exciting fight, but I mean, it's a 41, 42-year-old Silva.
Old man.
So cool. So this is a big step up in competition for him. So, and Gastelum, though, you never know. Sometimes I feel like you never know what you're going to get with him. So it's going to be interesting.
I agree.
It's going to be very interesting. We're obviously going to dive a little bit more what we both think about these fights here in a second. And then this is the one I'm super excited about, the Gastelum Styles Bender fight, but this one right here really gets me riled up. The main
fight. I can't wait. I know it frustrates me only because I like both of these fighters, but I'll be honest, I'm more of a fan of Holloway than Holloway is probably top 5 favorite fighters for me.
I would say that too. I like Dustin. I've never disliked Dustin, but I would never say I was like a big fan of him. He does put on good fights, exciting fights. He seems like a pretty legit dude. But I feel like I've watched Holloway grow up and watching the UFC, which is why I think I've always just such a fan of him, because I remember watching his old fights where he's this young up and comer, not great, and you just every single fight you watch him, he's just got better and better and better, and he's just where he's at now is insane. And I'm curious to see, are we going to continue to see him improve every single fight? I mean, it's insane. I mean, I feel like I feel like I've been watching him for 20 years. I think I'm definitely more of a Holloway fan, but I like Poirier. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be an amazing fight.
Crazy thing is with Max too, we feel like we've been watching him forever, and we really have. He's only 27. Yeah,
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like when he first came, I remember watching his first. The first time I remember watching him being remember them talking about how young he was, and remember his tattoos were like half done, and it was like, what's going on here? And he just kept getting better and better and better and better and better and better and better, and he's like, I mean, he's top 5 pound for pound in the world right now, in my opinion. I don't know what UFC and all those other people have him ranked at, but he definitely is in my eyes.
Yeah, and kudos to him for fighting through a rough stretch as well, because at one point he was 3-3 in the UFC.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he was, and because he was that guy that had a ton of talent. He didn't give up. He mastered his craft, and it was just up from there. So, big props.
Fun fact: he's only been finished one time, and the only person that ever finished him was Dustin Poirier.
There you go, boys. That's why it's gonna be exciting. And another thing too, these two fighters, I truly believe these are two fighters that, in the back of their mind, they think about putting on show for the fans. They know who pays the meal ticket. That's the fans in the arena. That's the fans watching. I feel like they have that in the back of their mind, so they are willing to put on a show. You know what I'm saying? I've always felt like that, especially about Holloway, and I would say Poirier too. Would you agree with that?
I agree 100%. And that's what honestly worries me about this fight, because I think if Holloway points at the ground and him and Dustin Poirier are exchanging, Poirier has a very good chance of knocking him out, because Poirier is a powerful, accurate boxer.
Yeah. It's dude, it's gonna be super exciting. I can't freaking wait. Sorry, I got so close to the camera there, but I had to move there. Bloob doping?
Bloob doping. Not the bloob doping.
No, I hate bloob doping. It's one of my least favorite things about bloobs.
The doping aspect.
I love bloobs. 90% of bloobs, I love it, but the doping aspect, can't do it. Nope. That's when I'm out on bloobs.
Speaking of bloob doping, let's have our picks for this card.
Yeah, speaking of that,
Boom.
since she's apparently wanting us to next topic.
Got the picks up. All right, I guess I'll do mine first in that first fight. St. Preux against Krylov. I have St. Preux knockout first round. I think he's gonna take care of business. I think it's gonna be quick. I think he's gonna hit him with a nice hard hook at the beginning of the fight, and then ground and pound finish off this Krylov guy.
My heart wants to say that because, like I said, I've always been a huge St. Preux fan, but you'll find out in a little bit what's going on with me.
Is it not up there yet for you?
I'm giving my picks after you give your pick.
We'll just go through.
Okay. I guess I didn't catch that. My bad. I'm sorry. Well, I have mine written down, Lags. I have notes, Sonny boy.
Oh.
I love St. Preux. Always been a big fan of St. Preux, but I don't know why. I just feel like he ain't gonna get it done here. But I don't think it's gonna be. He's gonna get destroyed. I have Nikita winning by decision. I think this is going to be an exciting fight. It's going to be a good fight, but I see Nikita winning by decision. That's my choice on that.
All right, so we already have a differing of opinion. Let's move on to the next one. Who do you have in Allen versus the Rapper?
Benny Siegel, yes. Benny Siegel wins the first half of the fight, which is always a freestyle rap. And then second, no, I'm just kidding. I'm going to have Alan Jouban winning this by submission, round 2. He is, Grant is going to be devastated by Jouban's looks, and he's going to be like a deer in the headlights, and he's going to get submitted.
I like that. I have
round 2.
I have Jouban by decision. I think it's going to be a pretty. I'm not going to say it's going to be a pretty boring fight, but I think it's going to be a back and forth. If you're a Just Bleed fan, then I don't think you're going to like this fight.
No, I think
it's going to be tactical.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tactical. I think that's why I pick it a submission, round 2, Jouban.
And after taking a look into Benny Siegel a little bit more, I would like to change my decision.
It is too late. You can't do that.
Dwight Grant by decision.
Can't do it. Sorry, you've already submitted your pick, Sonny boy.
I can go on the website and change it.
I said no, so.
Anders versus Roundtree. We have another one where we have opposing views. I have Anders. I think Anders looked incredibly impressive against Thiago Santos. His fight after that was less impressive. I think it was against Elias Theodorou. However you say his last name. But I think Anders shows a lot of heart here. He gets it done. I think Khalil runs out of steam in the third round, and Anders finishes him.
I think, like I hinted earlier, that this is one of the fights that people think is going to be somewhat exciting. Blah, 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 blah. I just think it's going to disappoint. I think it's going to be a fairly boring fight, and Roundtree wins by decision. I think there's going to be a lot of filling out processes going on, and it's going to last for 3 rounds, and Roundtree is going to win by decision. I'm coming in with the hot takes. All right, well, who do you got in the middle? Wait, title fight. Who do you have, Legs?
Originally we had the exact same thing until I realized that I had four third-round knockout finishes, and I was like, I should probably change that. So I moved it to round 2, but I think Gastelum gets it done. I could just as easily see Stylebender finishing him, but I think Stylebender, they feel each other out in the first, and then Gastelum is able to get up close, and he has some power, and I think I think this is going to be a game-bred Darren Till type knockout. I think it's going to be one hit, and it's going to be done.
I think, I'm kind of there with you. I have Gastelum winning by knockout round 3. I think there's too much of a hype train with Stylesbender. He's a damn good fighter. I'm not saying he's not going to be a champion at one point, but I don't think he's there yet. This, like I said, is a big, big step up in competition for him. I see him getting caught round 3. Round 3, it's a knockout, boys. Kevin Gastelum, the new middleweight interim middleweight champion.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, it is,
Whitaker
but
hasn't fought in a while, and he's only beating
but
Romero at this point. Also, fun
yeah,
fact: Kelvin Gastelum, or Israel, 29. Kelvin Gastelum, 27. He's actually younger, so we're not hype. I have heard zero hype about Kelvin Gastelum being a young up and coming fighter.
yeah,
It's all
yeah.
about Israel, and Israel's 2
It
years
is.
older.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you're right about that. That is a good fun fact. I mean, if you just listen to the pundits talk about Styles Bender, you would think he's like 18 years old. That he's this young up and comer stud that's gonna be around forever. But he was around for a while kickboxing, right? So
yeah, and that adds to his. I mean, he has a very veteran skill set when it comes to fighting. So
yeah, it'll be very interesting. But like I said, I have Gaslam winning KO round 3. The hype train's stopped momentarily. I still think Styles Bender will be a champion at some point. I just think he's not. Like I said, it's too big of a step up in competition. So main event. Whoa, you're getting scared. I saw you get scared on stream. The main. It's another one of these interim titles. Lightweight title. I have, and I'm not saying this is going to be an absolutely exciting fight. It's going to be an exciting fight. 2 warriors in there. I have Holloway winning by decision. I think there's going to be multiple knockdowns. There's going to be multiple times where it looks like it might be over one way or the other. It's going to be exciting round 1 through 5, but I'm going to say Holloway wins by decision at the end.
I think someone's getting finished. I don't know if it's Holloway. I don't know if it's Dustin. I think there's going to be a TKO somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Open it. There's Chell.
There she is, boys. There she is.
Did you put the cheesecake?
Ooh, are you gonna eat cheesecake live on stream?
Okay, I'll go get it later. Thank you. She's actually watching us. I could hear us in the background.
My wife is watching a movie with H-Dub, so she is not watching us. Burn. Sick burns.
But yeah, I have Holloway. 3rd round. I could just. It's like a coin flip. I could just. I'm so nervous as a fan of Holloway that Dustin's gonna knock him out in the 1st round and starch him. Because Holloway is so hittable.
Yeah. Now this. Sorry, go ahead.
I just don't.
Okay, I'm there with you on the. When I was picking this fight, like 10 different scenarios popped in my head of what could happen. I had to pick one, and for some reason I went with this one. But I could totally see Poirier like coming out and catching Holloway. I could see Holloway catching him. I mean, round 1, 10 seconds into the fight. There's so many possibilities with this fight. That's why, I'm so excited to watch it because of this. Because I think there is a 0% chance that this fight will disappoint.
No way. Absolutely. The most disappointing thing that can happen is someone gets knocked out in 10 seconds.
That we're robbed of seeing them battle, but that wouldn't disappoint in the sense of like we would be like, holy crap, you know. So that's I agree, that would probably be the biggest chance of disappointment, and that still in my mind is not a huge disappointment. So.
And that does it for our UFC picks.
So as you see right there, guys, Lags the Greek versus MW TV. We used the Verdict app to do that. I think it's our first time using it. Really cool app. We are going to that way we can see who does better. And next week's episode we'll see who won, who had the highest points, who won. And it'll be fun, man. A lot of fun to check that out. Rivalry, man. Rivalry. That's what we're all about here. Yep. I agree. 100%.
Staying on that UFC train, we got TJ.
Yeah, poor TJ. Actually, not poor TJ, but poor
decision-making.
Poor decision-making. And I think I made this argument last week, that the way he handled this situation helps his reputation. I don't look at it that way anymore. I'm totally discounting everything he's done in the UFC.
Everything.
Yes, because I am. I'm sorry. I just am. I am. I'm sorry.
Discount everything Silva's done?
Yeah, I do. Oh, I absolutely. I've been.
Really?
I've always been on that train. I've discounted. I still. You got to. He still gets props as one of the best, but I do not put Silva as the best or one of like top 5 best of all time because he was popped not once but twice. I just don't. I'm sorry. I just don't.
Okay,
This.
Brian. What about someone like Brian Ortega? If let's say he wins the featherweight championship again, defends it 3 or 4 times, moves up to lightweight, wins that, defends it a couple of times. Would you discount Ortega for testing positive early in his career?
I just. If we can go down if we can put together some all-timers that never failed, they go ahead of them. Automatically in my book. So I will consider Silva as one of the best. And and let's say that happens with Ortega. I would consider him one of the best.
Let the cat out real quick.
I think if you are popped, you're out of the argument of the best. You could be one of, but you're not the best because there's several people we can name that have never been caught. Maybe they were cheating too, but they never got caught. We have Mighty Mouse who's still fighting. He's never been, he's one of the top guys.
Best MMA fighter of all time. Off the top of your head.
Jesus, I don't know if I'd have to have some time to think about that, boys. I don't know if I can do that right off the top of my head.
Top 3.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Sonny boy. I'm going to, okay, so my criteria is going to be a little bit different here. I'm going to say what they meant for the sport, what they did during their time.
All right.
I put Chuck Liddell up there because what his string of dominance, yes, his last several fights were really bad, but his string of dominance was so dominant and he was so what he did for UFC, I put him there. I will put Mighty Mouse there, even though I've never been completely on his number one fan. I put Mighty Mouse there. I will put Stipe Miocic up there because what he did in that division, we had never really seen that form of dominance in that division before.
No St. Pierre.
Oh, I always forget about St. Pierre. I will put St. Pierre in there too. Yes, he's up there. Yep, he's definitely there. I always forget about him. I don't know why I always forget about St. Pierre. He just never excited me, man. I was a fan of it. He just never got me riled up to where I'm like, oh my God, George St. Pierre.
That makes sense. My top 3 off the top, real quick: Mighty Mouse, GSP, Cormier.
Cormier's too. See, that's why I'm saying I need time to think about these things. Cormier's there. I'm going Liddell. Really, I'm putting him in for what he did for the sport. And I guess you could put Ortiz in there, but didn't Ortiz at one point fail a test? Maybe, I don't know. Cormier, I agree with. Miocic, because of what he did in that division, we'd never seen it before. And Mighty Mouse, GSP. There's probably some other names I'm not even thinking about. You could put Matt Hughes in there. Matt Hughes, his dominance that he had, he's up there. There's names. There. Matt Hughes at one point could not be beat. There was a run of dominance there. Okay.
At this point, just the name Matt Hughes leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
I get what you're saying. But when MMA fighting alone, I think we got to go back to when Cody called out TJ, and we got a discount from there. Cody knew him really, and so he probably knew for a while he was dirty.
Oh yeah. Cody had even said that TJ literally taught Team Alpha Male how to. He said how to take steroids, but I'm going to assume it was how to beat drug tests in general.
Yeah.
EPO isn't a steroid technically; it's a performance enhancer.
Yeah,
but it's not a steroid. It's just it just helps you with your endurance, which is not like that's huge, especially in any sport. But I would call it a performance enhancer as opposed to a steroid. But exactly, Silent. He basically called him out from the beginning. He's like, you told us how to beat these tests. and then he gets caught and suspended You get 2 years for using EPO, but you can take freaking
Okay, I
HGH or something.
I get okay. So what I was talking to. Okay, let's explain real quick. You're saying EPO. Let's explain if you want to explain what that is to people that might not know. You want to explain what that is, or would you like me to?
You know what? I'm looking stuff up to make
I
sure.
got notes, buddy.
Go for it. I just wanted to look stuff up to make sure I didn't
Yeah.
say anything incorrect.
Well, what I wrote down, and I could be incorrect, is it is a synthetic hormone that is used to stimulate production of red blood cells. What that does for you, it greatly increases your stamina and endurance. And Captain Biggs made a good point. Is no EPO in his system? Was he able to recover from that knockdown from Garbrandt? You
I
know what I'm
think so.
saying? Okay. Well, I mean, it's at least in your mind a little bit, though, right? Because you said I think so, so it's at least a little in your mind. No, you can't ever say for sure, but the big thing about that one is that was the big drug that was used in the Lance Armstrong era with cyclists and obviously Tour de France endurance and all that. Another good one too is Sugar Shane Mosley. Remember him? He
Yeah.
was pop. He was pop for that. In the prime or towards the end of his career, but it pretty much wiped out his legacy as well. So, um, now touching on why I think when I first read 2 year suspension, I'm like, what, 2 years? That seems a little harsh for your first offense. But the news that I saw when I was going through the note taking process is that they went back and retested old samples and those were tested positive. Do you think that was factored into 2 year suspension?
Definitely. I don't understand how they didn't see it the first time. Like what
Testing maybe is better now. Maybe
I
funding, they have better
I guess.
tests.
I mean, I like you've said and like Silent has said, I'm not surprised that he's been on it. It sucks for him. Well, it doesn't suck for him, but I mean, I honestly don't think that him using that. I think he could have been off of that and still won both Cody fights and the Cejudo fight if he would have performed better. Because
Yeah,
they were all like, he's on EPO, which is supposed to help endurance. He beats Cody in the second round, beats Cody in the first round, I believe, the second time, and then loses in the first round to Cejudo. So it wasn't like he was going to 5 round wars. It did help him
yeah.
when it comes to, I guess, like training.
This is a future debate we'll eventually have, and
Yeah,
you know my stance on it. But and I agree with you. Would outcomes have probably changed? Probably not. But where we currently stand,
you can't be doing it.
you can't do it.
Yep.
So you're wiped. Like I'm saying, I think he's wiped off the. Is this one of the old timers?
I mean, he's not.
Because
I don't think he's doing anything after this. I don't. I mean, he could come back. I don't think he's getting the title
no.
back. So basically,
Well,
what he is at this point is he's a two-time bantamweight champion who. How many defenses? He had one defense against Cody. His first
yeah.
time he won it. Did he? How many defenses did he have after he beat Barao, or did he immediately lose to Cruz?
I thought he immediately lost it. I thought
So
I could be wrong, but
he's
I
just
thought
another champion that tested positive at this point.
he's and I liked Dillashaw, and I still like Dillashaw, but I'm gonna say this. This is my hot take. He's another one of these fighters. 5, 10 years from now will not be remembered because of this. Because of this, you will not. It'll be like, oh yeah, that's right. TJ Dillashaw was a champion at one point. You're gonna forget about it because of this. Because it's a 2 year suspension. He's not a young chick, man. He's got a little bit of age on him. Some of these battles he's been in, he ain't coming back to be a title contender. I don't believe so. You never even know. UFC might not even keep him around. So
If he does come back, I could see it being very much like Chad Mendez comes back, wins one, then loses the second fight and retires.
yeah,
That's what I
it'll
feel.
be. It's disappointing because I was a fan of him. Um, I'm not disappointed in the sense of him doing it because my stance. That's like, again, we're gonna have this debate eventually, but it is against the rules currently. And then apparently he's been doing it for a while, and it's someone that was so like that. Why Lance Armstrong got to be so hated is he was so in your face. I ain't doing this. F you. And that's kind of how the stance that Dillashaw took, and he was doing it the whole time. So, that's that, brother. Brother, man.
He was so close. His plan: go down to 125, beat Cejudo, go up to 145 to challenge Holloway. Imagine if TJ Dillashaw is the first 3-weight division champion and no one ever finds out about the EPO use.
Yeah,
I don't think he would beat Holloway, but I could see if Holloway, like let's say TJ won, right? And then Holloway's like, F this 145. I'm going to fight for I'm gonna go fight at 155.
Yeah.
I could see TJ beating another 145er.
Yeah, I can see that too. I mean, let's just say he does beat Holloway, and like you said, and he's never found out, caught. I mean, it would be insane, but he was caught. I mean, there's probably out of those list of fighters we gave of all timers, would you maybe agree that one of them probably did it and they just never were caught or haven't been caught yet? I mean, I feel like, in my opinion, majority of fighters, and I'm going to put it out there as athletes, they cheat. Some get caught, some don't. So that's my take. So it saddens me a little bit because I was a Dillashaw fan, but we move on. We'll enjoy someone else. I think he'll be forgotten.
Hot take. Everyone except Mighty Mouse in my top 3 has taken steroids at one point in their career.
How sad are you going to be that when Mighty Mouse gets busted?
He's not going to, because he's in ONE FC and he can take as many steroids as his heart desires.
As his little heart desires.
I'm going to test him. Mighty Mouse is going to show up like freaking the Hulk for his next fight. It's going to be great.
They're going to actually say, we tested him 10 times. He's clean. And really they tested him 0. So that's interesting news. Very interesting news that the broke today. He's not fighting at all either. He accepted it. So,
which is there's not much else you can do when you EPO. And one of the reasons that they that I've read that they say the suspension is so long. One, the Golden Snitch also did a lot of testing when it came to EPO, and I think he might have played a role in catching Lance Armstrong, and that's like his hill to die on. Is EPO.
Oh yeah.
And also, like in John Jones's case, you can kind of say like, oh, it could have feasibly been dick pills.
This is
EPO. You literally have to.
Yeah, Google it, YouTube it, of the process of how to utilize this, and you will see that there's a 0% chance it's done by accident.
Yeah.
Because I've watched, like I said, watched documentaries about Lance Armstrong and the program that they had of the U.S. Postal Service team doing this. It was insane. So, tattoos got KO'd. What? Huh? What are we talking about?
He calls Cody tattoos.
Oh, okay. He done got KO'd by the USADA.
That's literally how I explained to her what happened. I was like, the guy that knocked out the guy that has all the tattoos? And she's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, he tested it. He was blood doping.
He gone.
He was bloob doping.
But damn bloobs, man. Bloobs. So that's, UFC, man. UFC. There's never a dull moment in the UFC. But you know what we didn't talk about? McGregor. For once in his life, he was actually somewhat quiet. Not really, but we're not going to touch on some of that stuff.
Yeah, there was no. I think we're just too hyped for this fight card to even care about McGregor at this point. I'm just excited to see Holloway and Dustin, and maybe after this fight, McGregor will be like, "Oh, I'll fucking fight one of you too."
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll put something out after the fights. It'll be half the tweet is congratulating him, and the second half of the tweet is, I'll fucking fight you. You
Max,
know.
you're an amazing fighter. I love watching you fight. But remember that time I beat you with a torn ACL?
Yeah, we need to get Chell some roids. Can we get her some roids to help her bionic arm?
You know what? I'll get her some. Wow, what? I always forget the name. Some Nugenics.
Oh,
Get her
get some
some
Nugenics. What is up, Tex? He's in the house. What's
Tex.
up, Tex?
I
Tex
need some
playing
Nugenics.
MLB The Show 18, even though it should be 19, but he's playing 18.
We won't get into that. We could harp on that for.
You're sad about two things tonight: Dirk's final home game and what? What else? I'm curious. Michelle says, I worked it too hard today. Pour one out for me, boys.
Oh, she worked her hand too hard.
Yeah, I know. First thing is Lags won't play games with me anymore. Second one is
Dirk.
Yes, Dirk's final home game.
Dirk's final home?
Is it his final home game?
Yeah.
It is confirmed. The way he acted, the way he dressed up, number one, he was super dressed up. The way he was shaking everybody's hand coming into the arena, because there was like hundreds of and don't interrupt the Mavs talk, Lags. Okay, I sense that you're going to interrupt this. There was hundreds of American Airlines Center employees that were lined up greeting him on the way in. He took his time shaking their hands and all this. That's because he is actually leaving. Confirmed. I was in the hospital for 4 days. What? When? You're in the hospital right now, Chip? What? When?
No, she was.
No. Oh, week. What? I didn't hear. Wow. Thanks for telling us about your fiance.
I told you we were
just kidding. Got him.
Oh my god.
Got
him.
Why
I can literally take 0%, 1% of what freaking MW says seriously. I take about 1% serious. The rest I just can't.
Bortzi's in the house, boys. Bortzi is in the house. Yeah, I do think it's the end as well, Tex. Seeing the way he acted tonight coming into the arena and stuff, in my mind, seeing that kind of confirmed it. So, Farmer's in the house, boys. It doesn't make up for the second sad thing. Wow. Okay. What do you want to touch on next, sir? Are we going in order? We going in order here?
You know what? Since we're talking about Dirk, let's just go to the Dirk versus DWade debate, and we can hit on AB right after.
All right. Losers go first, so go ahead.
Actually, it was a tie last time.
I mean, but you did say Indiana's in the West, so
and this isn't going to be fair because we have Tex, and Tex is automatically going to vote for Dirk no matter what. But our debate for the day is who had the better career, Dirk Nowitzki or DWade. And I'm up first. So you know what I'm going to do?
Boo! You suck.
There's not much I have to do other than just be logical.
Logical?
Let's take a look at some logic and let's take a look
Are you
at
drunk?
Some stats. The stats don't lie. Dwyane Wade, 3-time NBA champion, NBA Finals MVP, 13-time NBA All-Star, 2-time NBA first team, 3-time NBA second team, 3-time NBA third team. That's 8-time All-NBA. That's a lot of times. 3-time All-Defensive second team as well. He was on the All-Rookie first team. I'll just throw that out there. A little fun. And he was the scoring champion in 2009. He averaged 30-something points per game that year. In addition to this, he's the all-time assist and scoring leader for the Miami Heat, which has a storied franchise unlike the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, what?
Unlike the Dallas Mavericks.
What?
Because let's be honest, the second best player other than Dirk on the Dallas Mavericks is probably like Michael Finley or something. So we're not going to worry about that. And in addition to this, he's also an Olympic champion, 2008 Beijing gold medal.
I'm out. I'm leaving. I can't believe you just said that. And can you please explain to me real quick how Miami Heat is a storied franchise? What? Because they got a super team? What? Like, wow, they're storied. They've won in the last. Wow, they're storied?
Top three Dallas Mavericks players right now.
Are you talking about current or all-timers?
All time, top 3 Dallas Mavericks players.
You have Dirk, you have Michael Finley, and you have 10 other guys that I could name for third place.
Michael Finley is the second best player the Mavs have ever had. You know who the second best player the Heat have ever had is? LeBron James.
No, first of all, the fact that you're going to say that is absolutely ridiculous, and I discount you as an NBA fan.
Let's go with
you
this.
are going to say that that because LeBron James, who goes from the Heat to the goes from the Cavs to the Heat,
Tim Hardaway Jr.
I'll give you Mourning because he was a legit Heat Miami guy. LeBron because he played with the Cavs, Heat back to the Cavs, now with LA. No, buddy, you don't. Don't even get me fucking started on this, boys. Don't even. Yeah, there's like Steve Nash, Luka. Let's already put Luka there, boys.
Steve Nash was not that great when he was on the Mavs.
Bro,
had a better player for the Mavs than Steve Nash.
Did you really? Oh, bro. I'm out. I'm fucking done with this.
You didn't even say Steve Nash as your first person.
Because there's like 10 guys I can legitimately name. The fact that you said LeBron James totally ruined your argument. He had to join forces.
Hold on.
To win a title, and he played like, come on, brother. Oh my God.
Let's look at
appreciate those kind words. That is bogus, bro.
Thank you, Bortsy.
Miami will get Zion and the Super Bowl next year. I agree, dude. The fact that you even said that Miami's a storied franchise, that is blasphemy. That is baloney.
More storied of a franchise than Dallas.
I can't do this.
Give me an argument as to why the Dallas Mavericks are a more storied franchise.
All right, so first of all, let me point this out. Mavericks have never had to open up the pocketbooks and bring in super teams to win championships. They only have one, but they didn't have to. They have to beg and borrow and steal to bring in super teams. Okay, they didn't have to bring in Shaq to go with Wade to win a championship. They didn't have to go bring in LeBron and Bosh to win a championship. How is that a storied franchise? That is just not. I'm not necessarily saying the Mavericks are, but the fact that you're saying that you can even say that Miami is a storied franchise blows my effing mind, and I'm angry now.
Storied compared to Dallas?
No way. Not a chance, sucker. In the future, people are going to look back at how well Miami went despite buying it. Yes, I'm not sure what he's saying there, but absolutely.
I'd also like to make a point real quick. Y'all didn't even draft Dirk. So technically, Dirk was also traded.
If you're going to go down, please don't even get me started on that. The NBA is known for draft day trades, so you can't say that. Yeah, you can't say that. How many? Come on, bro. Come on, man. Are you done? Like, cause that was hot garbage. That was hot garbage.
Tell me why Dirk is a better player than DWade.
First of all, I don't even have to write down how many times he was an all-star and all of that because it doesn't. It's not even a question. The number one thing with Dirk is he revolutionized the game. What we see now today in the NBA is because of Dirk. Guys like Porzingis, guys like Luka, this influx of European talent that came overseas that got more chance to play was because of him. And that's just European talent, overseas talent. More of them had a chance in the NBA because of Dirk's successes. And then just the fact that he was a 7-footer with that skill set changed the game. Kids grew up idolizing him overseas that had the same size. They styled their game after him. We would have never seen a guy like Porzingis if it wasn't for Dirk. He revolutionized the game. In Dirk's prime, he was unguardable, period. He did not need referees to help him get to the line. He didn't need any of that. He was unguardable. Can you sit here and tell me that DWade revolutionized his position? That he changed the game? Can you tell me that he changed the game?
How this debate was who was the better basketball player, not who had the more game-changing influence.
That is put in. If your style of play is so good and your dominance was so good that you changed the game, wouldn't you be considered a great player?
Do you
Because
want
you
a
were,
do you want a hot take? Hot take right here.
bro.
Dirk Nowitzki ruined the game of basketball.
You're crazy. Okay, so you're gonna be. Please don't tell me you're one of these guys that says Steph Curry ruined the game of basketball because now kids just want to shoot threes.
Steph
Please
Curry
don't tell me that,
ruined the game of basketball.
bro. Bro, I'm questioning. I don't think there's gonna be a red beard in the Greek 10. After what I'm hearing Lax saying, bro, this is ridiculous. That is the only fact you even need to know in this debate. Is Dirk changed the game? He changed the game. His also too, he stayed with one team. He could have left many of times and joined a super team. He didn't need it. When he beat Dwayne Wade in the finals, he beat Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Bosh with a cast of characters. Okay, a old Jason Kidd and a cast of characters. You know what I'm saying? Dwayne Wade, yes, Dwayne Wade did beat the Mavericks in the finals. I get that, but the fact that Dirk could go back and beat him when he had LeBron and Bosh, that trumps it. 21 seasons with one team, all the discounts he took to stay with that team, all of that. Wade has left, come back. I like Wade as a player. I've never hated Dwayne Wade, but Dirk changed the game. He changed the game. And if you want to go down it, Dirk has an MVP. Dwayne Wade doesn't. So if you want to go down he has an MVP. Dirk doesn't. Dwayne Wade doesn't. Okay. He had to have no super teams to get his title. None. He didn't have to have it. Okay. So he in his prime there was nothing he couldn't do. He didn't play great defense, but he played good defense. He could not be stopped. His offensive game could not be stopped. He revolutionized the game. Period. Point blank. That's the beginning and the end of my argument, because that trumps it all. Should I keep going, or did I already win?
I'd like to take a look at Exhibit A.
All right, we're gonna post that poll, boys.
Well, I'm not done.
No, we gotta post it. They have time. No,
You need
I did
to
it wrong.
A look at Exhibit A. All right.
Nah.
Exhibit A is the Dallas Mavericks roster in 2011 when they won the NBA championship.
Go ahead, I'm waiting.
Tyson Chandler. Drafted by the Los Angeles Clippers.
And what's your come on, I'm waiting. What's
John
your point
Marion.
Here?
Drafted by the Phoenix Suns.
I've won this argument. I've won. I've won. The fact that you're saying this is you're grasping for straws. You're saying that are you saying that those guys are at are you saying any of these guys are at Shaq's level? That's who he had when he won his first title. Are you saying any of those guys are at LeBron and Bosh's level? His other titles? Are you saying that? Please, I'm waiting. Okay, so then why are you saying it?
Dirk is an excellent player. I think Dirk is the second best power forward of all time.
There's a poll. There's a poll,
Third.
boys. Vote it. Vote it. Vote it.
Top 3 power forward of all time.
Are you okay? I'm got to get triggered again. So you're discounting his legacy to the point of you're saying top 3 power forward of all time. You can't even give him a top 10 player of all time. You're gonna give him top 3 in just his position.
I'd put him top 10 all time.
Would you put him top 5?
No.
Okay. Okay.
I would put him top 10.
So you're telling me that you're not putting Dirk top 5, but you're going to put Dwayne Wade top 5?
Let's see what the answers to the poll are.
Let's
close the poll.
No, we're not closing it yet. You got to make some rebuttals here, and so all I'm going to do is repeat my points. Is he revolutionized the game? We are not seeing guys currently in the NBA right now that are only there their style of gameplay is in the NBA today because of DWade. We had seen DWade 20 years ago. That style of player.
Who is a
Well, Go
Dwayne
down
Wade?
go down the list. Like, what did he do that changed the game? Nothing. He was a great player. But what did he do that changed the game? What was revolutionary about his game? Nothing.
Are
He
we gonna
was
say
we
the first person to be able to shoot past 10 feet revolutionized the game? The first person to do a hook shot revolutionized the
Oh,
game?
bro.
The first person to use the backboard revolutionized the game?
Bro, Dirk changed the game. He did. It's the same. I put him on the level of how Shaq changed the game. Shaq came in and his skill set was so dominant the game had to change. That's what happened with Dirk. And then you're seeing players come into the league that base their game off Dirk that they probably wouldn't have got a chance if it wasn't for fucking Dirk, bro. There's another bro for you, Super Monkey. Let's close it. We're closing it. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
If I don't win this, I'm leaving forever. You will never see me again, boys. Let's see it. Are you kidding me? How do we have another tie?
Dude, of course Dirk is better than Dwayne Wade. That's not even a question.
Hurry. Wife is showing me a TikTok. Uh-oh, the dog is mad at another dog. Oh, now they're kissing. It's a baby. Now they're in trouble, and wow, that was the greatest TikTok I've ever seen. Aw, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Love you. The fact that okay, we're not counting that. How did that end up in a tie?
Good time. It's because of all those stats I threw out. Honestly, I think Dirk is I agree with everything you said. I think Dirk is a more game-changing player, revolutionized the game of basketball. I would put Dirk in my top 10 all time. I wouldn't put Wade in my top 10, but I think Wade, in terms of this generation of players, if Dirk is like number 2 or number 3, then Wade is right behind him.
I'm gonna break a rule that you shouldn't do as a streamer. I have 2 of my least favorite viewers now. I'm actually gonna rank the viewers here, and my 2 least favorite are Super Monkey and Shell. So I'm ranking them. The fact that they would vote on that is insane. That is ridiculous. And Tex is number 1 on my list. He is by far my favorite viewer.
The two
Yeah.
people with the most knowledge about basketball, Chell and Super Monkey, voted for me.
Wow. Super Monkey thinks that basketball is they kick a ball into a hoop or something. Super Monkey doesn't even know. No, I'm just kidding. He knows. I'm just kidding, Super Monkey. I love you. You voted for Dirk. And he says I'm his favorite streamer. Thank you. I really wish we could see how that got the vote was. You know what? I'm going to click this link. I'm clicking that link. We're going to look at it real quick. Maybe it will say it if we click the link.
Say what?
I'm clicking the link for the results. Maybe it'll say who voted what.
Oh, it was Chell and Super Monkey for me, and then Tex and Silent for you.
Interesting. Yep. Oh, hold on. Actually, hold on. We just got an update. Hold on.
No, it doesn't matter. The poll's over. No. Remember last time when someone voted for mine after the fact? Tell you what, you can have this one if you give me that other one, so it's 2-1.
And I win. 3 votes, Dirk. 2 votes, Wade. I didn't. Can you prove it? You prove it?
You voted for yourself.
Can you prove it? Can you prove it?
Serious voter fraud?
Can you prove it though?
911. We have an emergency.
Can you prove it?
Voter fraud.
Can you prove it? I win.
I need some ballots. We need to get like the Bush Gore ballots and run those through with people, man.
The fact that actually ended in a tie, I have lost faith in humanity, honestly. The fact that there's 2 people, and I'm looking at you 2 people. I know who you are. The fact that you could, and I'll give Chell a discount. She has to go with her man. That's the only reason she's standing by her man. She knows that Dirk's right. She has to stand by her man. But Super Monkey, bro, jeez, bro. Oh, girl, I can't do this.
This
All right.
is why I love Tuesdays.
I know, bro. That was. I thought for sure I had that one wrapped up. I thought I had that. Text. The next time we have a situation like that, I need you to make 5 burner accounts immediately and vote fast. Okay? We can't let that happen again, Tex. All right? 5 burner accounts immediately. You stand with her. So obviously there was some voter, because you know what? That it is law, right? Lags. When you're at a polling station, you're not allowed to talk about who you're voting for. And apparently Super Monkey and Cho were communicating.
I mean, to be fair, if this was at a voter polling station, Tex would have been yelling at the top of his lungs that he's voting for Dirk and be wearing a Dirk jersey, a Dirk
pulling up with a car with Dirk stickers all over it, playing the German national anthem and all this. Yep. So
the German national.
I don't know. I made that up. I don't even know what's going on. We don't take care of each other. We don't talk to each other. Y'all just have ESP or whatever it's called. Didn't Dirk create? Oh, I'm not even going to read this question because that might be the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Wow. I can't read it. Let's move on.
Speaking of things that we didn't want to read, Antonio Brown.
What a turd.
What is Antonio Brown thinking?
Now, we're friends still, Super Monkey, but the fact that I'm shook to the core on that one. That's going to take me a while to get past that. A tie on that? Jesus. I know Captain Biggs, I think, had a practice tonight, but I wish he would have been here because he would have absolutely voted Dirk on that one. I would have won. So you're knocked down just a peg, boys and girls, in my book. Yeah. What's up with Antonio Brown? Okay. You got what you wanted. You got a trade. You got more money. Normal human being is going to move on and be happy, right? Right?
Antonio Brown ain't normal.
How big does your ego have to be that all those positive things happen to you and you get mad because the Steelers named JuJu the MVP of the 2018 season? Something that petty, something that is meaningless, it means nothing, triggers you? How big is your ego and how big of a D-bag are you, you know?
Oh, his latest tweet, not giving you media fakes, no more ammo. Enjoy my name, AB. I am in Cali, living, ready to ball, no nonsense. You trollers troll, skull emoji.
How
Too good to worry. Hashtag call God.
If anything, he's the troll in that situation, right? I mean, if you're not aware of it, the Steelers named Smith-Schuster JuJu the 2018 MVP. Okay, cool. But in the grand scheme of things, it's absolutely mean. What does that mean? It's just something they could post on Instagram, right? It's meaningless. Antonio Brown was shook to the core by it. Immediately gets on Twitter and throws shade at JuJu for it. Saying that he fumbled in a key game and that he has a hit, coming up weak in the key games, So, yes, exactly. That is true. You are correct. I think in a way, Antonio Brown was hinting towards things like that because he said something about celebrity, blah, 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 because JuJu Smith did start to become a little bit of a celebrity because of some of those things. But, so that happened months ago, and he's still talking about it. Okay, well, interesting. AB going to be haunted by badge. Whoa, I see what you did there, Super Monkey. Nice.
Ooh,
nice.
That's a good one.
JuJu's 2018 stats, 100 and that can't be correct, can it? 2,300 yards? That can't be correct. Is it correct? Catches, yards, average, and that can't be correct, right? 2,300 yards. That would be a record breaking, I would believe.
Look up Antonio Brown's stat.
That was a good one, actually. I'm going to use that. Am I okay to use this? I think maybe a typo. Maybe he had 1,300 yards.
This year, Juju had 111 receptions, 1,426 yards. Okay, to be fair, Antonio Brown clearly outplayed Juju when it comes to.
He
Okay,
he
Juju,
did
look
he
at
did. Yeah.
like the stat wise 1426 and 7 touchdowns versus 1297, which is about 200 yards less, but 15
Yeah.
touchdowns.
If you think, again, if your ego is so big that you think after all that drama you just started with your team to get away from them, if you think they're going to name you the MVP,
Exactly.
you're stupid. Again, it's meaningless. It's basically just a thing for fans to talk about. If you think they're going, you might be deserved it numbers wise, but if you actually think they're going to name you that after what you did and you're not even on the team anymore, you're an idiot. And he throws that shade at him, and Juju's taking the high ground here big time. All he tweeted back, it's basically it's sad to see someone that I respected and looked for advice for doing this, but I think he wished him best and all that. So he definitely took the high ground on that because he could have went right into the mud with him. Taco Charlton, what in the heck are you saying? What's going on with Taco Charlton? Other than the fact he's a major disappointment here in Dallas. Other than that, uploaded the wrong thing. No worries. But he was terrible in the locker room. Yes. And the fact that you think that they're going to name you the MVP is insane, and why you would even care. Because how he pulled off a Houdini magician move. He was an absolute cancer, caused major problems, got out. He already had a massive deal, and then he goes and gets even more money. Shouldn't you just be like thanking your lucky stars that actually happened, and just move on, right?
Maybe Pittsburgh was like, "Hey, he's great. He's great in the locker room. Please take him. Please, for the love of God, take him off our hands."
I think the Raiders don't care. The Raiders have a history of not caring about that stuff.
Raiders could give up.
And Gruden and even Gruden too. He was in the Buccaneers run of the Super Bowl and playoff teams. There were some characters on that team.
Warren Sapp.
They had some stable guys as well, but there were some characters on that team, and so he takes on some of that stuff. Are they still going to Vegas? What? Oh yeah, they are. But they don't have another interesting thing about the Raiders, them being a mess, is I don't think they still to this day have a finalized deal of where they're playing next season. Unless it's broke and I didn't see it.
I want to work on that.
Yeah, how dumb of you as a franchise do you have to be to plan to go to Vegas, but not have every year leading up to that planned of where you're going to play? Interesting.
Not the brightest.
And I'm not 100% sold hockey is there now, and it seems to be going just fine. Hockey has a very devoted fan base and all that. I'm not 100% sold that a major I'm not 100% sold a football team can thrive in Vegas. I'm just not 100% sold that it can thrive in Vegas.
I think it can. And this is solely based off of the hockey success. They have hockey and they have a WNBA team, I believe.
Well, the hockey success, I think, was amplified because their first season they make to the Stanley Cup Finals.
That helps.
Helps. And the Raiders might be decent next year, but they ain't going to the Super Bowl. So, I think that helped a lot. It was thrown out there that, it was super popular. But again, their first season, they made it to the Stanley Cup Finals. That helped a lot. I remember when the news broke that they were going to Vegas, somebody I was listening to on the radio made that, yes, there are Vegas residents and all that, but they're not really Vegas residents. So how do you really have a home field advantage? Vegas is all about tourists and all that. So they might sell tickets, but do you have a home field advantage? Because it's tourist. You know what I'm saying? It could be, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. So, but it's all about money. So I'm sure they're going to make a ton of money. So, hokey pokey. And especially if now that gambling is legal in all 50 states, that now they're in Vegas, that'll be interesting. So, It'd actually be very interesting stories. Is AB going to crash and burn in Vegas? Are we going to find out Gruden is betting against the Raiders because he's in Vegas? It's going to be interesting. Very interesting. We got off on a little bit of tangent there, but
Still related to AB in a way.
so JuJu took the high ground, okay, and he said nice things. So what was AB's response? His got him response. He posted a old DM from JuJu when JuJu was with at USC, the USC Trojans. JuJu DM'd Antonio Brown saying, "Hey, I'm a up and coming collegiate wide receiver. Looking, is there any? I respect you. Is there any advice that you could give me?" That's what he posted. If anything, he just helped JuJu win that battle tenfold. It made JuJu look like, a hero in that situation. Like, wow, this, and he made him look like an idiot. Very stupid. I feel like the football team will be overshadowed by talent, probably. Tickets might be super cheap, though. Is anything super cheap? I've never been to Vegas, but is anything super cheap in Vegas?
It's all very expensive.
Yeah. I think it's me and Britt Bratt planned a few different trips to Vegas. We never pulled the trigger. I think from just me not ever being to Vegas, but planning trips to Vegas, it seems like it's fairly cheap to get to Vegas and to stay in Vegas, but everything else is not. That's what it seems like to me, because the hotels were actually fairly inexpensive.
Yep, it's all fun and games till you actually get there, and then you're expected to tip everybody for everything, and then you lose all your money the first night.
Yeah,
you don't know what to do with yourself, and then you have to sell yourself on the street because that's legal. It gets kind of dark. It's kind of dark.
It's kind of dark. I kind of wish I was in LA right now. I wish I was in Texas, the greatest state of all. Oh, that's right, I am in Texas. Fact bombs, baby. Can we debate that one? See who wins that debate?
Wait, what debate? Texas
the greatest,
greatest state?
Yes.
I'm not going to debate against Texas being the greatest state.
Yeah.
I have a death wish.
It's Antonio Brown just, I don't think he's quite to T.O. level. What T.O. did in his prime of being a diva was insane. I don't think he's quite to that level yet, but he's approaching it. He's approaching it.
T.O. was on another level. T.O. was crazy. I mean, if Antonio Brown keeps it up, he might give T.O. a run for his money, but T.O. is just
it should be in there. It should be in there. Yeah. They're right here. Sorry. Hold on. Wife's looking for some chippies that I have right next to me. Here you go, baby. Yeah, T.O. was, I think, like you're saying, a better quarterback. I mean, better quarterback. You said, that's my quarterback. Obviously, Hall of Famer. We're not sure. Antonio Brown, Hall of Famer. I think he's got to put together a few more seasons. The chips were hot wing Ruffles, and they were called Double Crunch. They were super crunchy. Very good. But they're spicy. If you eat too many of them, very spicy. That's my review on those chips.
We're open for sponsorship. Sponsored chips, get it?
Ooh, got him. That's not quite as good as Super Monkeys.
And we lost all our viewers.
And yeah, they're gone. They're gone, boys. They're gone. But Antonio Brown puts together a couple more seasons. He's probably like this. He's probably a Hall of Famer. He's not at T.O.'s level. But I'm not even. And what I was kind of saying there is that what the kind of diva that T.O. was, I don't think Antonio Brown's quite got to that level yet, but he's fastly approaching. The things that T.O. did was insane. The things he publicly said and having press conferences in his driveway and all that was, we haven't seen that quite with AB, but we might.
Oh, didn't AB do like a Twitter live or something like that during?
During he did.
Team meeting.
He did. No, it was a post game. It was they just had a big win against the Patriots, I think, or something, and I think damn, what's their coach's name? I'm going blank. Tomlin called. I think he called the Patriots assholes or something like that, and Antonio Brown caught it. Oh, I think that's been done a few times already. I think that's just like a stupid mental mistake. I don't think that falls under the diva category though, because there's been other athletes that have been that's happened with before. So, but it's just a boneheaded move, you know. So, it'll be interesting to see next year. JuJu's going to have a lot of fuel going in. Who has a better year? I think that'll be because JuJu's definitely on the come up. He's like what? He's very young, so he's definitely got room to improve. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. So
NFL season's gonna be fun next year.
as every year, it is. It is. It is. It is. What else you want to talk about? It is only 9:55. We're wowzers.
5 whole minutes of action at least.
At least.
Oh,
at least.
You know we didn't hit on that. Shout out to Silent for alerting us of this late breaking news.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah,
Magic Johnson. Oh, and I was going to take I was going to crop out the tweet that you sent us, Silent, but I didn't have time to do it. But pretend there's a tweet here. Tweet credit to Silent but Deadly.
Yep.
Magic Johnson stepped down as the general manager for the Lakers.
Okay, so there's many different ways you can look at that. I think I told you my feelings on it.
Oh, president.
President, yeah. I think I think it boils down to he's mega rich. He's made obviously from basketball, and then he's a great businessman. That's one, like he owns like butt tons of Burger Kings, and he helped bring 24-hour fitness to the forefront in the gym.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I think he's a big owner of, or was, maybe he sold off, but he was a big shareholder, I guess, or owned several of 24-hour fitnesses. He has, guys, I need to head off. Thanks for the great insight, Lags. Wow. Okay.
See you later,
right.
Monkey and Bortsy. Y'all have a good night.
All right. And Bortsy. Yep. See you later, Bortsy. Way to promote another streamer. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, y'all have a wonderful night. A wonderful night, boys and gals. I love you guys. I'm just messing with you. That's a joke. You should know me by now, Bortsy. Hush it. I think it is that boils down because he was involved in the Dodgers ownership group. He wasn't a big owner. He was the face. He didn't put a lot of money towards the Dodgers ownership group, but he was the face. He left that, got done with that, so he could go do the Lakers thing. And now he's done with that. I think it's he realizes I'm an older gentleman now. I have more money than I ever need. Why am I doing these stressful ass jobs? That's what I think it is. But you could also look at it in the way of, is he possibly already done dealing with the drama of LA with LeBron and what's going on with all of that? Could you maybe think that's in it? We love you too, Bortsy.
Yep.
Have a good night.
Have a good one.
I
agree with you on your points. I think he just doesn't need to deal with that stress, man. It's not necessary. Being a president of basketball operations is a stressful job, and
why? I mean, again, he doesn't have to do anything the rest of his life. And then he also, the health issue, it's not like he doesn't have a health issues to this day. I mean, he, contracted the HIV virus, and I'm pretty sure he still deals with that today. So maybe that has some to factor into it as well. But I think it's that. But again, you never know. It could be that he's already tired of dealing with the LeBron circus of LA. Maybe him and LeBron didn't get along. You never know. You never know.
That have been a story. If he comes out and he's like, you know what, I just couldn't handle dealing with LeBron James.
It could be one of those things that 10 years from now we could maybe he writes a book and says it, like what happened with Phil Jackson and Kobe. We always knew there was a little bit of animosity between them, but when Phil Jackson wrote that book and really explained what happened in that situation, maybe we'll get that. You never know. So
what happened? Fill us in.
With what? Oh, Phil Jackson and Kobe?
Yeah.
You don't remember that story?
I mean, I remember, but I don't remember exactly what the deal was.
Oh, he wrote that book where I think, he might have not used the words, but he called Kobe an asshole. Phil Jackson had a foot surgery or something to that, and he was injured in a practice, and Kobe threw a ball at his foot. That was just that
Phil
was.
Jackson's just being a little wiener, dude.
He probably is, but it shows that
Tell me Michael Jordan wasn't an asshole. Get out of here. Phil.
I get that, but that's Phil Jackson's side of the story. Is that's why he had to step away from the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't.
Poor Phil Jackson.
I get what you're saying, but how big it was a big story when it broke all that. The book came out. It would be a massive story if Magic Johnson said, "Hey, I couldn't work with LeBron anymore because LeBron's a absolute whatever," So
and good on Phil for being able to properly deal with everyone on those teams. I mean, it's one thing to have all that talent, but to be able to have all that talent and have them gel well, like with his Bulls teams and with his Lakers teams, it's still impressive. I think sometimes we don't give any credit for coaches that are able to do that, but there have been so many teams in the past that have had so many amazing pieces and have never
couldn't get to put it together.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a mini debate here real quick.
All right.
Let's just I agree with you a little bit, but is Phil Jackson considered as great as he is? Is his legacy what it is now because of how good of a coach he was, or how good his players were? Because you coach,
you have the players.
Yeah, you got Michael Jordan, you have Pippen, you have Kerr, you have Tony Kukoc, you had Rodman, and then you go into the Lakers with Kobe, Shaq, and that cast of the characters. I mean, my God.
I think there's a difference between, and they're both great coaches, but there's a difference between Phil Jackson and Greg Popovich.
Yeah, Popovich did have a David Robinson, one of the all-timers. He did have a Tim Duncan, one of the all-timers. But they're not all-timers that are. I don't think Duncan without Ginobili, without David Robinson at the first championship, but without those guys, I don't think Duncan's the kind of player that wins a championship on his own. I think Popovich, I don't think it. I think I'm agreeing with you though. Hear me out. I think it takes all of that together. It takes Duncan, it takes Popovich, it takes the cast of characters, all of that to win the championships. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Steve Kerr, Tony Kukoc, Dennis Rodman, they win a championship regardless of who the coach is. That's what I look at it as. I'm a Mavericks fan, so I obviously have some hatred towards Spurs, but I consider Popovich probably the greatest coach of all time. Because yes, he did have superstars, but he had to, I feel like without Popovich, they don't have that run of dominance that they have. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Lakers with Shaq and Kobe win a championship regardless of who the coach is. Maybe that second title with Kobe and Paul Gasol and all that, maybe. I don't know that one, but
that was they had to, other than the Celtics, the big three Celtics, that I don't know if it was the first or second one that they won when they played Orlando in the finals.
Yeah.
And let's be real, Rockets were a better team than the Lakers at that point in time. They got lucky that Gal and T-Mac were hurt, because if they weren't hurt, the Rockets would have 3 championships.
And just every other team was lucky that Chris Paul hurt his hamstring last year and all that.
Because I know. This year Chris Paul isn't going to hurt his hamstring, and this year the Rockets are going.
There is a 99% chance that Chris Paul gets hurt in the playoffs.
Houston Rockets, NBA champions 2019.
That is not happening, sir. So,
dude, Steph Curry got hurt, man.
So now we're throwing out hypotheticals. Okay.
No, he got hurt.
When did he get hurt?
He slightly hurt his foot.
Oh,
so
I saw.
He might be out for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's not. I thought you meant like he's hurt. Okay.
Don't put the bad back juju on us, Silent. We already had to deal with Tracy McGrady's back spasms for like 10 years.
Yeah, I can't
handle. No. If anyone else on the Rockets, if another good Rockets player gets back spasms, I'm gonna lose it.
If the only way the Rockets win a championship if Golden State is dismantled by them leaving. That's the only way they win one. Because if the Rockets team is similar to what they are now, the Warriors are similar to what they are now. The Rockets ain't ever getting past them, just like any other team in the West ain't getting past them.
Let's be real. Golden State 100% sure, unless they don't win a championship, in which case they might come back. DeMarcus Cousins gone. Kevin Durant
But
gone.
what I say, DeMarcus Cousins 100% gone, but they've won. We're not even sure they're going to win this year with him. I'm pretty sure they will, but they did it without him. I'm not 100% sold that Kevin Durant's gone. I'm not 100% sold that Klay Thompson's gone.
I
They
think
might.
Clay stays. I think Durant. If they win again, I think Durant leaves.
They might huddle all up and say, why not? Why don't we make a run at being the greatest dynasty of all time? Take a little bit less money.
They will never be
Let's.
the greatest dynasty of all time.
I didn't.
Unless they win 6 in a row.
I'm not saying they will be, but I'm saying that would be a conversation they would have. And
kooky conversation.
Not really, because it's modern NBA, brother. 6 championships back then ain't the same that 1 championship is now.
Lucked out against the Rockets.
Oh my lord!
If the Rockets made 1 out of 27 damn 3-pointers, that series is over and the Rockets win the championship last year.
But they didn't.
All I want, you know how angry I was during that game? You know how frustrating it is to watch your team that specializes in 3-point shooting miss 27 threes in a row? Trevor Ariza couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
That's the way it goes. They didn't have that. They didn't have
that. There's literally that's one of those memories I don't think is ever going to leave. I'm going to be like 80 something years old and I'm still going to be harping on that unless the Rockets win a championship next year, which
I have a couple. Well, no, that ain't going to be true because I still have ill will towards the championship that we lost because of the referees. There was one up in the counter. The little mini ones. I'm not sure. They. What was I going to say? I still have ill will towards the Wade one, and then the Rangers losing that World Series because Nelson Cruz couldn't make a catch that 99% of right fielders should be able to make. If the Rangers won the World Series this year, it still wouldn't erase that heartache. So
it's rough. It's rough being a sports fan in general. James Harden is the MVP of the league. Put some respect on his name. Silent.
This happens quite often in Houston. Yes, I believe so. Any given day, Harden goes, yeah. I mean, when you're
8 of 23 for 45 points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds.
When you build your team around shooting only, and you don't have multiple all-world shooters, that's bound to happen. The Warriors have multiple all-world shooters. That's why it doesn't affect them. It affects the Rockets because they have one guy that's all-world and the rest aren't. So I'm sorry, that's just what your team's going to be. And D'Antoni's their coach. He ain't ever winning a championship.
I don't think D'Antoni, he just got out of the hospital.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He was sick. But
oh, yeah.
I just, you know what? Because me and Tex have a bet. He took. So we had a bet at before the beginning of the season that he took Golden State to win, and I took the field, and it was a bet for dinner,
and then
Greek food. Then literally the day after that, Golden State signs DeMarcus Cousins.
That's how it goes, brother. I think they would have won without DeMarcus Cousins.
I think without DeMarcus Cousins, I would bet a decent chunk of all the money that I have that Golden State would not win.
Ew, what do you base this off of?
I base it off of the fact that the Rockets should have beat them last year.
But they didn't.
An injured Rockets team could have easily beaten Golden State. And this year, there's so many other teams that have an opportunity. I think that out of the teams that Golden State can lose to in the West, Oklahoma City and Houston. In the East,
Oklahoma City?
In the East, Milwaukee and Toronto. And maybe Boston. I really think Boston.
I'm not sold on Milwaukee yet. That yes, they're the number 1 seed, blah 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 blah. But they haven't been there, done that. That's a key factor in NBA playoffs. I believe you have to have, unless you're like the Warriors, where you have multiple all world talents. You don't necessarily have to been there, done that to go on and win championships. I don't feel like they're quite ready yet. But maybe the Raptors, now that with Kawhi, maybe I just don't think. I don't think there. My hot take is there's a 100% chance the NBA champion is coming from the West. No percent chance, in my opinion, that the championship champion comes from the East.
What? So
I
you
just
think
can't.
if the Rockets make it out of the West, that they're
They'll
gonna
win it.
sweep?
If somehow, Steph Curry breaks his ankle and lags, assassinates Kevin Durant, and the Rockets make it to the finals, I don't think there's a team in the East that can beat them. So I feel like if the Oklahoma City made it, well, maybe Oklahoma City, I
Oklahoma
don't
City's
know.
a tough one.
That's because you never know what you're going to get with them. You never know what you're going to get with them. Paul George is, he's had a little bit of playoff, but I just don't feel like you don't know what you're going to get with them on a nightly basis. I I think it is going to either be Warriors or Houston. I'm 99.99999% chance it's positive it's going to be the Warriors making it out of the West. But if it somehow is the Rockets, then I don't think there's an East team that beats them. So.
You know what I don't like right now? I'm looking at the playoff picture, and Houston and Oklahoma City are matched up first. I don't like that matchup.
That is scary for Houston,
don't
but
like that at all. I could see Oklahoma City winning that series, and
it's gonna. I think that'll be a really good one. That'll be a really, really good one.
But there's a bunch of teams like LA in the 8th seed is 47-34.
Mm-hmm.
San Antonio in the 7th seed is also 47-34, and Oklahoma City in the 6th seed is 47-33. And there's 4 days left, so there still could be a bit of shuffling between the Clippers, San Antonio, and Oklahoma City.
Okay, a real quick thing I want to say about the East and D'Angelo Russell, because I saw the story pop up and I read it and I was like, wow, that's actually pretty cool. D'Angelo Russell and the Nets, they clinched their playoff spot a couple days ago. He's having an amazing season. He's probably going to win Most Improved Player. He is an absolute leader of that team. I mean, he puts them on their back every night, hitting game-winning shots left and right. He's on the highlights almost every night with some late game situation shot. Magic Johnson traded D'Angelo Russell, and when the story broke that he traded him, he said, I think he's a good player. He's just not a leader. And what did he do this season? He showed them up. He led the Nets to the playoffs. The Lakers ain't going to the playoffs. I love stories like that. That makes me. I could care less about D'Angelo Russell. It's a cool story. I ain't a fan of him. I'm not a fan of him. But those kind of stories I love because it's like, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? You say this, your team's at home. I'm in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So.
D'Angelo he's played really well ever since that whole didn't he have some issue with like a phone and Nick Young?
Yeah,
didn't he tell like Iggy that Nick Young was cheating on her?
Yeah, it was a
he's
rat.
A little childish, but it's clear that he's definitely grown up.
Yeah, he's a leader. He just led with the Nets have any chance at the playoffs without him? None. So at least they got the playoffs. They're probably going to get one and done, but they made the playoffs. So good for them. Cool story. Lags, what is on the docket tonight?
On the docket tonight, are you gonna be free?
What? Huh?
For some MLB, the show.
Let's do it, brother. So what are you saying? What are you implying here?
I'm thinking that Fatty Shorty and Chubby Stubby are going to be doing a dual stream.
Let's go.
Right after this, man.
We're gonna gotta set it up. I gotta go hug and kiss goodnight and kiss the wife, and I'm gonna be on it. Will I make the play? Will I make MLB? Spoiler: no, it ain't happening.
I think you will. I think have you equipped the donut bat yet?
I think I am. I think I need to. I'm
telling you, once I equipped the donut bat, my fortunes completely flipped. Like I hit more home runs with the donut bat in like 35 minutes than I had in the past 5 hours of playing.
Well, I streamed for, maybe a little less than 2 hours today, and it was horrendous. I was playing terrible, but I was also super paying attention to chat. Like I was really involved in some conversations. I'm blaming on that. tonight I'm going to be focused. We'll see what happens.
Always blame chat.
That's what I do.
When in doubt, chat.
When in doubt, blame chat. Are we going to raid? Are we doing that raid thing?
Oh yeah, we always doing that raid. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hope y'all have a wonderful night. If y'all give us like what, 20 minutes?
Tops. Yeah, 20 minutes tops. And we'll get that going. And there'll be some links. Watch out for some links of a dual stream. Silent knows what that's all about, but should look out for some super kind words. Silent. We know we love you. We appreciate everything you do for us, the support. Chell. Holy crap, Jay Blubber is here and he's late, but it's fine. We love you, Jay Blubber. You're fashionably late. We're ending it. We're going to go watch Indigo Charge. He's playing a Yoshi game. I already forgot the name of it. I'm sure it's a great game. Chell, appreciate it. Bortzy, appreciate it. Super Monkey. Fuck you, but I appreciate you. No, I'm just kidding. Take out that part. I'm kidding.
Out of the YouTube VOD.
Yeah, Outlaw. Appreciate you stopping by earlier. Everybody, appreciate it. We're inching closer to affiliate, boys and girls.
Yeah, we are.
So we'll have something exciting probably in store for our first affiliate. What do you want to say, Lags?
8 seconds left. Have a fantastic night. We'll catch y'all next time.
Next Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let's go.